Today is June 21st, 2025. Last night, between 9:30 and 10 at night, I go to work. I go through McDonald's. There's a guy behind me talking to Bill from the Freemasons. And you could hear him how he found out I called him ugly. Well, if you weren't so fucking ugly, maybe you wouldn't harm women you don't know. Maybe you took your money and used it on plastic surgery. You wouldn't be so fucking ugly. You wouldn't have women raped and sell child pornography and try to get in a drug cartel to sell and kill women. Women and children? If you didn't have such a low esteem of yourself, maybe you wouldn't take it out on people you don't know. If you weren't so fucking ugly or fugly. Only seen a glimpse of him January to about April or May of 19, Sunday morning, before Sunday school, before 10 o'clock in the morning. People had said Bill from the Freemason was paying for all this, okay? Freemasons are showing up, harassing me, bragging how they're hurting me, okay? He's supposed to be paying for this? Hell no. I go in and use it. I'm early, okay, to go to church. Go in and use the bathroom at McDonald's. Went to get something cold to drink. See Freemason plates pull in. I brace myself. If they're going to yell something stupid, don't react. No, they walk in. Bill, you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay people around and say and do things. Look out of the corner of my eye. He's not a handsome man. Not a handsome man. Got out of there. Where they used to say, we all know. Will goes over and holds Karen at night. It's like, please tell me that ugly man did not rape me. It sounds silly, but it's not. Where that guy's like, oh yeah, you talk about a confession under police surveillance? I didn't have rape her. I had other people go over and rape her. Oh, thank you for your confession, nitwit. You know, you're the criminal. You're the predator. You're the predator. My ex-husband, his girlfriend, and Melissa, because where Dave's already been trying to have me killed 4 different times. Didn't work for him to get everything. John and Melissa break up. This time it's for good. They're going through a divorce. So they hire some guy named Pete and you to run a big con on me. So that Melissa gets everything. And Dave, where they said in 18, this whole thing is to make sure Melissa and Dave get everything. It's like, are they dating? That's sick. Because I didn't know. Here, no. They hired him to run this big con on me. Have people kicking my door, set up mountain cameras, stalking me. Wait till I'm out of the room. Don't know they're in my home. Have people break in and lay strings or stab me with date rape drugs. Have me beat and raped. Drugged up for fake confessions. Took videos of me in the shower, washing myself, photoshopped that in another room. In a big con. Keep me drugged up so bad, lose 18 pounds. Or I called the FBI. They're planning on trying to scare me out of everything. Yep, and then where I won't have anything when they run a con on John, I won't be able to afford to help him. It was all planned out. So when they got it all set up, they have the bad people that try to kill me show back up. But I called the FBI. They go in immediately. And tell how they're illegally monitoring. Trying to con this agent with illegally monitoring tapes. That's 7 to 15 years. Drug confession. A doctor that's not one of mine but works for them, and they lied and come out this last week. He's not even a doctor. He was just some guy saying he's a doctor. Had another one impersonate retired Judge Pete from the Ravenna courthouse, framing Ludick and Stephen for letting them get away with crimes. Freemasons and cartel impersonate the Portage County sheriffs and frame that whole sheriff's office. And they framed Chief Bruce Wilski that he gave special permission to some guy named Pete and some guy named Will to go forward and drug, beat, and rape women. Sell child pornography of little kids going potty, go forth and be criminals. Yeah, right. Go in and think they can con a Fed with their stupid scam. See, people were laughing at Harville. That guy wasn't even a doctor. Didn't that agent check? Just some guy. They had, and then where they were talking up in Hartville, some guy was sitting there listening to me and Carl talk about how this is a big scam from Bill from the Freemasons. We're on March 24th. Wait a minute. Yeah. March 24th, 25. Summit Mall. The Texas group is up there. You tell that Bill from the, you tell that some guy, Will, that was to run a con here. Run a scam. Or was to run a scam here. To join us. Tell them it's all wrong because Michelle told on him. That doctor from before was never one of hers. He works for them and they lied. Yells it out in the mall. You tell them we said take care of her. Well, I went up there a few more times and people are like, are they crazy and threatening Michelle? You do realize that B Family Church, she was with the Florida drug cartel that said they worked for Judge Peters from Florida? She was telling people she was Judge Peters' daughter. Cartel kissed her ass. I don't know if she was just a front for his real daughter, but whoever she is, she had a group of men that worked just for her. And that cartel kissed her ass. Remember the Gentleman's Club from Florida? The 3 or 4 older men, 70s? That had the bodybuilders with muscles. I mean, literally bodybuilders, muscles everywhere. Huge guys. Have fun with that, Bill. Men as big as Herman Monster. Giant, big drug dealers with huge muscles. Have fun with that one. Went back up there. People are like, are they crazy? That other cartel threatening Michelle. Yeah. Yep. And then May 25th, 25, Hollisters in Summit Mall. Teenagers are laughing at this, cackling. Boy, did Bill from the Freemasons run the biggest scam here. Had some guy go in and drug her up and tell her to say that. Can you imagine drugging somebody up and tell them to say something like that? Had a guy take a video of her washing herself in the shower. Photoshop that in the other room. Can you imagine videotaping somebody washing themselves in the shower and photoshopping that in another room? They ran a contest off of it. Who could come up with the best scam to steal her money, and scammed everyone into helping out. Cackling. Well, that was May 25th, 25. Well, May 26th, 25. Walmart 62. Florida shows up. We heard they were making fun of Bill from the Freemason scam of the doctor not being one of hers, but works for them and they lied. Up in Summit Mall. The cartel's tired, Bill, from the Freemasons. We all are. Who does he think he is? And that cartel's telling him to take care of Michelle? Oh, trust me, we know all the threats. Oh, they were running around leaving all kinds of threats on that girl. She was like barely 18 when this started. She barely looks 24 now. You know, that's where I've wondered if she wasn't just a front, like an investigator said, for the real daughter of Judge Peters, and they were just putting her face out there. Or she actually is. But it's like, if she's just a front, it's like, honey, get to an FBI office. You got information on that other cartel? That's gold. You know where they got any of the kids they took? That's gold. Go to a sheriff's station, ask for Officer John, Officer Mark, mention the case, tell them to get a hold of Agent John. You know where people are, and they're all looking for the Texas group. It's like, get there and tell on them, and they'll put you in the witness protection program, especially if she's just a front. It's like, hide that little girl. If they break, they dismember people, and they're known for dismembering people. Okay? She's just a little girl. You do realize I'm 58, definitely old enough to be her mother, and almost old enough to be her grandmother. You do realize that. Well, that's where that cartel said, Michelle says she's really nice. Told her how to take care of herself. That other cartel isn't running this. We are. Oh, they already announced in 18 the Gentleman's Club from Florida was running it. Judge Peters' group. It's where Henry Maffei comes involved. And his group. They all work for him. The guy that was arrested in 22 by the FBI with 100 men. The ones that were at Faith Family Church breaking, they were hurting me and hurting me before. They were the ones impersonating FBI agents and also helping impersonate the Portage County Sheriff's, hurting me. It was them and the Freemasons pulling this big con. Okay? That's where that other cartel even said, does that other cartel want more? Nobody say what we're doing around her. So they don't know what we're doing. She's out of this. This is no longer her concern. Everybody's tired of Bill from the Freemason. Who does he think he is? He's some kind of predator preying on people in their homes and then saying they don't have to worry about me. I'm just his victim. He's the predator. So is Melissa. Melissa and Dave hiring those men to sell kiddie porn. They sold kiddie porn and my grandkids go and potty. Tape my whole family using the bathroom. That makes Melissa a child molester and Bill from the Freemason. Taping me washing myself in the shower and photoshopping, that's voyeurism. It lists him a sex offender. Him having other men drug me for fake confessions, beat and rape me, that makes him a human trafficker. He's very dangerous, and so is Melissa. Does she think she's some kind of big mafia bitch? Seriously. And their con of, We're going to steal everything for children. You can't steal for children. But the children go to jail as an accessory to extortion and theft. They made up a scam for, oh God, you name it. There were scams everywhere flying. Chaos of scams because everybody thought they could get my informant money. And they're all fighting over it, scamming everything. His big scam. You know, what was it, May 16th, 24? Something around that day. I had went to work, picked up a lady to take her shopping. Go to Marshall's in Belden. There's people that have been following me for years in there. Glare at them. Go out to my car. It's parked about 2 cars away from me. Looks at the lady. She don't know who I work for. I work for Will. Will been setting up those drug dealers from the beginning to arrest them. She didn't know that. Well, after I got off work, went with a friend to the Canton Monument. People are like, we all heard that guy say that Will was setting up those drug dealers to get them all arrested. None of this is funny. Oh, I know. Like they said yesterday in Mentors, we all know one of his guys told on him for setting those drug dealers up to be arrested. They already told everybody to cut it out. None of this is funny. She's a human trafficking victim. And people run around making fun of her. And then there's a scam. Oh, she was in state hospital. She's crazy. You're crazy. And I was never in a state hospital. They think they can just make up whatever they want. Like that lady said, we all know she was never in a state hospital. She was never found insane. We even know some other woman was using her insurance. Still never happened. They're just running around making fun of her. They're a scam. Okay, my doctor's office. This is how stupid they are. My doctor's office. And it's probably just a flat-out fraud letter. She's like, at my community health, she said, I want to read the notes for you. It said, some office hired a psychiatrist on their own to evaluate her. That's a federal crime. Oh, like 10 years. No doctor can evaluate you, treat you, without your signed consent. It's a federal crime. The only time they can help you is like Good Samaritan laws where you're bleeding and they help you. Choking and they help you. And it goes into Good Samaritan law. You're not their patient. They don't have a right to look you up. They don't have a right to evaluate you. They don't have a right to talk about you. You're not their patient. They lose their license instantly in 10 years federal prison. Have fun with that. If they touch you, it's 20. Now think about how fucking stupid their scam is. Had a psychiatrist evaluate their on her own, said if she was devastated because of the divorce, if she beats or if she has a dent in her head where they already admitted they tried to kill me, including Michelle, that those guys had tried to kill me. When they bashed in my head or leave me incompetent, it didn't work. And the police and the feds already got her seen under surveillance, and she confessed to an agent. But she has a dent in her head, and she was probably beat her head till it's done, and that's physically impossible. And then there's HIPAA violations. You cannot release anything without somebody's signed consent to anybody else. There's another HIPAA violation. So how much you want to bet? It's just somebody saying they're a psychiatrist. Because a real psychiatrist would know it would cost them their freedom. I had to warn my boss. if a fraud letter shows up. I told them what it was supposed to say. They were like, what? I said, more than likely it's just a fraud letter. No real office, no real doctor. Because a real doctor go jail for it. She's like, oh, yeah, they would. Oh, I told the FBI where to get the fraud letter, the sheriffs, CIA, NSA. Everybody works this case. You know why? Because the Texas group's involved. Where I met with a retired CIA agent. Where I was working, she was working there too. For a client. They're all after the Texas group. They've killed agents before. All law enforcement's after them. So, where they go around and say, well, the psychiatrist says this. It's not a psychiatrist. Do you realize I'm not their patient? They can't say a word, and I don't have a psychiatrist. These people are textbook. Boy, they could write a book on these psychosis. Of these crazy people running around thinking they can do stuff like this. It's a scam. No real psychiatrist would evaluate anybody that is not their patient signed. They would lose their license. They would never disclose any of the findings or what was said to them because they would go to jail and $1.5 million fine. See what I mean by just somebody saying they are? And they would never, ever treat a patient that's not theirs. They don't want 10 years federal. Got it? They're conning everybody. They think you're stupid. Now think, this whole thing is a con. From Dave, Melissa, and Dave's girlfriend, Auntie Chow, hiring those two men to run this big con on me. Scare me out of giving up everything in life? That's racketeering and extortion. Getting things out of fear and duress. Okay? So, she didn't even make up her mean games of pretend after the FBI was there. In front of the place in the FBI. And her kids dating on Thanksgiving of 18. They made everything up. They were games of pretend. And they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Purple. John defended me. When I asked him what's going on Thanksgiving of 18. Where her kids are in the basement laughing about the mean games of pretend. An illegally bugged house. They thought they fooled that agent and they left. He didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere. Had a court order for illegal police surveillance to get all these stupid people. John defended me when I asked him what's going on. I don't know. I told Melissa you're going through a divorce, moving out. She'll have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it, Mom. Nobody could ever say anything bad about you. It'd be made up just because of the divorce and you're moving out. Shouldn't have said anything till it happened. But I did. And since I did, and it's just made up and nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. Excuse me. To clarify everything, I go to Dave. I'm like, Dave, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. Talk about Melissa having the kids make up something because of the divorce. That John had said it, and she's going to have the church people make up something too. Okay? Taped him, of course. So did the police and fags. They got the rest of my family defending me. Okay? Now, that's why nobody went to the hospital. There was no pictures of any injuries. No police were called. No. What? Investigation? Why? Because they got their mother friends with Dave's girlfriend telling the kids to lie for Auntie Shell to get the house. And the kids saying they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. And later on to Florida, they were making everything up. They were games of pretend. They're documenting me games of pretend. That's why. Yeah. See, that's where in Hartwell, the originals didn't arrest Melissa for her part of this. They should have. Oh, absolutely. They need to go back and arrest her. And she can't just have people make up something and think she can show up and steal everything from her. They already had that group scare her out of everything. Now she thinks she can just show up and say something and steal from her? They can't do that. No, you can't. Even the attempt is federal prison. See, the whole thing was like that. Even people realized, we all realized what they were doing. It's trying to scare her out of giving up everything, so when she moved out, she wouldn't have enough money to make it on her own. Have to work a couple jobs. So when they ran a scam on John, and he would have to fight to get his kids back, he wouldn't have anybody to help him, and she couldn't afford to help him. That way, where they wanted everything for Melissa and Dave, she couldn't help him. Where John, Melissa got ready to pull her stunt on John. Walked in his house uninvited. Dropped off the kids. They're divorced. She has no right in that house. Just walked on it. That's breaking into evidence. Okay? He had got all the kids settled, went in to use the bathroom. He doesn't know she's in the house. He walks out of the bathroom. She lunges screaming at him. Startles him, so he shoved her. Anybody would have shoved her. Somebody screaming and lunging at you, it's a reaction. Just looked at him and laughed. Now I got you. Called the police on him. Had him arrested for domestic violence. Here's a castle law. You have a right to defend yourself. She should have been arrested. She's the one that should have went to jail that day. Not him. Had to get an attorney. Had to bail himself out of jail. Lost his kids for almost a year. He called me up. He's like, Mom, I need a reliable name to put on the court records. Okay? To pick up those kids. And I said, John, I work 2 jobs. I can't afford to quit one of them. He said, Mom, if I don't have a reliable name that I can if I don't have a reliable name that I can rely on and that I can put on the court record that you'll be picking them up so the courts will approve it. So I can get partial custody of my kids. Mom, I'll lose my kids. I said, John, I'll lose my apartment. I don't have money enough to make my payments now. I'm barely making it. Mom, I'll lose my kids. This is my kids. And he's pleading with me. Under police surveillance to pick up Kenzie Carrington and Noah. This is 19 or 20. And I'm like, John, I'm sorry. I don't make enough now. But Mom, I'll lose my children. And he's pleading with me. And I can't help him. So he finally got visitation rights. And then he moved to Florida. Years ago. Lost his kids. Lost everything. Just like they planned it. Just like them threatening to kill all my children. I have people play with Joshy's vehicles. Them threatening to kill everyone. Have people drug, beat, and rape me, crush my head, and torture me. Melissa is dangerous. She is a predator preying on people with Bill from the Freemasons. That's some guy named Pete. And my ex-husband. preying on people, having them drugged for fake confessions, beaten, raped in their own home, tortured, almost murdered to steal from them. You know, the Freemasons, I worked at CSE Bank in 19 and 20. They would swarm that bank. They would come in and laugh at me after I was tortured. I had to be on bladder spasm medicine for 2 years. 2 years. They come in, let's get in line and see if we can make her pee herself. We all know she can't hold it. After she was raped. And they would laugh at me in the bank. I was talking to Walter Moss. He's my friend. He used to work at the prosecutor's office. I told him how the Freemasons were involved. He's like, you know, the Freemasons have been wrapped up in horrible crimes. Karen, I was wondering why they were swarming that bank. I seen them. Bill from the Freemasons, that some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own. Melissa and him to run this big con on me so they get everything. And like people said, she has a nerve. They already had all those people scare her out of everything. And she thinks she can just show up and say something? And she can steal from her? There's no proof of anybody getting hurt. They were sitting around laughing. We all know they taped them all saying they were lying. Making everything up. Oh, even little kids were laughing in Hartville Flea Market. Our mom said if someone would have made a lie up like that when she was little, they would have washed their mouth out with soap. Oh, you would have been spitting bubbles for days. Tell you what, somebody 40 and 50 would know it. They had no problem putting a bar of soap in your mouth. Dear God, just for smarting off, I had my toothbrush scrubbed with a thing of Irish soap and made to brush my teeth and tongue. It was disgusting. Just for being a smart aleck. Born that way, youngest of 5. Always had a mouth. I've learned to control it. That's just for being a smart aleck. You told a lie, you got your mouth washed out with soap, and you got beat. And people were laughing. Melissa and her attorney thought she could just show up and say something. And she could steal from her. You can't just say something. We all know nothing ever happened to him. Nobody ever went to the hospital. There was no documented injury. No pictures of injuries. No police were called. There was no police investigation. Because they caught Melissa with Dave's girlfriend, Auntie Shawn, telling the kids a lie. For Auntie Shawn to get the house. The kids stated they wanted the house for Auntie Shawn Pupple. And later on to Flora, like Officer John said, January 12, 22, 4:55 p.m. What those kids get tape stating? They were making everything up. They're games of pretend. Documented by the police and facts. Then these people thinking they're smart asses. Roofing me and telling me to say something horrible under drugs so I wouldn't know. That's a bitch move. The whole thing's a little bitch move. Go be fine, make something to eat and drink, go and use the bathroom, wash my hands, sit down, take a drink out of a 2-liter Diet Coke, the room go dizzy and black, wake up with injection marks, throwing up, heart racing, severely infected, thinking it's a dirty well water, give me cancer, going to my community health all summer of 2018 for all the signs of being drugged, being raped, and nobody thought of a rapist. And here they're drugging me for fake confessions. Over 10 to 20 prescription drugs and high doses will make you sleepwalk without the legal ones like LSD. Drug you up and tell you to say something stupid. My neighbor Mike got roofied. He told people he was an astronaut. He tried to tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. Like, go sleep it off. He was stoned out of his mind. That's what they did to me. Did it to a U.S. Marshals kid twice. Did it to my coworker Dar, and she was taken and raped, and her friends were said she was talking and acting fine. Do you know that's where she don't remember meeting him. Carl's daughter Audrey, her husband Gary said they seen it on TV that in large groups of where teenagers show up, they walk up with injections, stab them, so it takes effect almost immediately, and they're sleepwalking. That way they'll go along with being taken. I said it's called needling someone. That's what they did to me. I said that, and then Lee Strength. She said they said it was even on that report or on another report that some guy was having his wife drugged and raped out of their own home by other men for almost a year before she realized what he was doing. Couldn't figure out what had been happening to her because she didn't see her talk to anyone. That's what Dave did to me. Had people drug beat and rape me under drugs so I wouldn't realize what happened. Now Melissa thinks she's some kind of mafia bitch, hiring human traffickers to do that to me in the Freemasons. You were going to lock that predator up, right? Before she hurt somebody else, she's dangerous. She's harming people. She's selling child pornography. She's running drug scams on people. Having people drug beat and raped in their own home. See, they ran that scam of the drugs and told to say it. People would yell stuff at me, and people yell back at them. Used amnesia drugs on her. She'll never remember. Don't matter how mean you are. You guys drugged her and told her to say it. Now you want her to confess to something you drugged her and told her to say? She'll never remember. So they had to yell at me. What they did. I used to run and throw up or have diarrhea. I told the neighbors about it. You know, they're like, we hope they're just playing with you. I was like, I really had bruises. I was really throwing up. I was really severely infected. Like Walter said, somebody was hurting you. Or they said they drugged you and told you to say it. You had all the signs of being drugged, being raped, seen by the doctor, and never seen or talked to anybody. Somebody was hurting you, Karen. They probably did drug you and tell you to say something stupid. And where they laugh at you in front of people in stores, they did it. And where they laugh that they Photoshop that shower scene and washing yourself, they probably did. It's clicking and pasting. It's a big fraud scheme. See, they thought they would be a bitch move, drug you up and tell you to say something stupid. Oh, they'll verify the stupid. That just makes you part of the drug scam. You have to have physical proof, medical proof. See, that's where my kid's pediatrician from 1984 to 2002, Dr. Greg had been on Frank Road. In 2001, 2002, I was in there. He said, Karen, not one time did I ever have to worry about you abusing your children. Never had to worry about them being mistreated or not being well taken care of. They come in and they're fine. But you come in here with bruises. The only one I worry about in that house is you. Because every time Dave had a bad day, he beat on me. He's sorry for you. Then he beat on me again. He wasn't sorry. It was his punch-you bag. But the children, when they would come in there was no injuries. No marks. Normal weight. Normal height. You cannot hide abuse. It shows in people's faces and eyes. People that are traumatized, they look away. They look down. Their souls hurt. My kids will look you right in the eye and talk your ear off. Laugh and joke. They were normal, healthy, well taken care of children. So where they thought it was a bitch move, and a total bitch move, roofing somebody and tell them to say something horrible, well, there's no physical or medical evidence to back it. You can't just roofie someone and tell them to say something horrible. Oh, we'll have them verify. You can't verify you're part of a drug scam, you idiots. These are like the most retarded, moronic bastards in the world pulling this stunt. Oh, they verified it for Will. They did not. They did not. My oldest son, John, found out they were impersonating him. He's lived in Florida for 3 or 4 years. Found out Dave had some woman impersonate my mother, go up to that church and say a bunch of crap about me. Some guy was listening to me and Carl in the restaurant. A bunch of men came in and sat around us. So a lot of times I go through everything so they, if they're just starting to investigate, get them caught up real quick. And we were talking about them impersonate my mother. He showed up at Hartville. I was listening to her and her husband laugh about this crap. Or about this. Went up to Jerry, asked him what on earth was their mother supposed to have done. Said Dave showed up with some lady, said that it was her mother, bad-mouthing her. Said, found out her mother had lived in Illinois for 15 years, hadn't been back to Ohio in 15 years, and Dave just had some lady show up and pretend to be her mother, bad-mouthing her. And realized Dave was having people do that to me. Just like they said in Hartville. That doctor from before, it was just some guy saying it was a doctor, didn't that agent check? Just like it was supposed to be retired Judge Pete from the Ravenna courthouse, and it was just some guy saying he was a judge. Just like these people were saying they were the Portage County sheriffs, and it was either the Freemasons or the cartels. It was a big drug scam. So you're going to arrest Melissa for her part, right? She's dangerous. She thinks she can have people drug, beat, raped in her own home. Have her kids make up a lie on somebody and then steal from them. And yeah, nothing ever happened. But they think they can con people and scam them out of stuff. You put the crazy bitch in jail, right? For her being part of Dave and Dave's girlfriend trying to have me killed and then scared out of everything in life. And then she's trying to, and setting up John to make sure she stole everything from him and got the kids. And then she thinks she can come back and steal from me and my new husband and from the FBI. Then they think they can pay off witnesses to lie. Offer them millions of dollars. You're going to put the crazy psycho bitch in jail, right? She's dangerous and a predator. So is Bill from the Freemasons and some guy named Pete. Framing Chief Zawinski. Oh, he gives special permission to some guy named Pete and some guy named Will to break in people's homes. No, he don't. To cyber stalk and watch them unaware. No, he don't. Tape kitty porn. Sell it on the internet. No, he don't. They have people drugged for fake confessions. No, he don't. They have them being raped in their own home. No, he don't. And Photoshop washing and perverted stalking tapes. Run scams on people. No, he doesn't. And I'll tell you what, and you guys trying to frame him, the sheriffs, Judge Ludick and Judge Stephen, I'm sure law enforcement up there would want these people arrested. And stop ruining their reputation and framing them. Melissa being an accessory to that. She needs to go to jail for it. You can't leave her out of jail. She'll just hurt somebody else. Carl's granddaughter knew her husband was harming their child. She never hurt the child, but she knew her husband was hurting it. She didn't report it. You cannot hide abuse for long. It came out, her husband went to jail the rest of his life. She went to jail for years as an accessory for not telling. Now she's never allowed around a child again. Melissa should never be allowed around a child. She helped sell child pornography. Had somebody drugged, beat, and raped to steal from them. Ran a drug scam on them. She's dangerous and a predator. So is Bill from the Freemasons, and that's some guy named Pete. And so is Dave. And allowing them around children is allowing them to harm and exploit them. And keeping them out of jail just creates other victims for them to harm. They're dangerous predators. I'm going to upload this.